Hello! Finally, today we will try to style our application because, as I remember, it looks quite ugly. Okay, let's start with triggering the server and then let's see what do we have. Yeah, we still have some stuff coming from the Vite scaffolding, so maybe let's start with clearing all of the CSSs. And at the beginning there are two of them. So the first one is the index CSS. Let's remove all of that. And the second one is in the app CSS. Let's also remove and get the plain HTML. Okay, so now we don't have any styling, and yes, I know it looks even more awful than before. So what we can do? One of the easiest solutions would be to apply Bootstrap. But here we are in the Trimble ecosystem, and there is one quite nice feature, functionality, or maybe framework inside of the Trimble different open source project. So let's try to find Trimble Modus, Bootstrap. And here we can find something which is freely available as I get it's under MIT license. So it will apply the very basic styling for our Trimble Connect extension, which will go according to the Trimble rules, to their colors, fonts, sizes, everything. So let's start with just installing Bootstrap. And let's just copy paste it here. After a while, needed to download this package. Then we can apply that, and we will do that in the app TSX. So here, this is our style, and we will be applying some additional colors and fonts here. But just before of that, let's grab what we have already downloaded. So after applying that, maybe let's do it in 2 steps. Let's in the very beginning see how our application looks before, and yes, the same effect. And now after applying Bootstrap, it looks different. Not perfect, I know, but some things are much better, and we are getting some flex in a column way. So all of those controls are aligned in one column, and of course some fonts are different. There are some changes. So we have applied that effect by just importing Modus Bootstrap and importing the style in that place. And there is also one more, even more powerful tool provided by the Trimble. And now I would like to try to find not the Modus Bootstrap, but Trimble React components. Modus React Bootstrap, not really. Is it that? One of their okay, not really, because as you see at the top there is a newer one, Modus Web Components. Let's see that one, and yeah, here we can find quite a lot of different components which you can freely use in your application. And as you know, some Trimble apps, they are using the same style. So it is the easiest way to apply the same styling to provide the same user experience in your application, which will be hosted inside of the Trimble Connect. So let's see how we can add it. And where is the npm install? Okay, here it is. Modus React component, and npm is here. Let's just copy and one more time import that. And now we will be able to use those extra buttons, tabs, tables, sliders, spinners, everything what you can see here. Quite good documentation, I would say. All of those properties and event handlers are described well. So now we have installed that, and there is also the information about define custom elements. So we should add something in the main TSX. Let's see, where is the documentation for that? Getting started, I was here, but it's not loaded way. I'm not sure that, no. Here, not really. How to generate, nope, it would be for the development. Contributing, nope, okay. I have it prepared before that recording, and that is invoking that function just at the very beginning of our application. And after that, we can start trying just replace the normal HTML elements with those extra Modus ones. So now I want to try the button because it will be the most used one. And here we can see different styling and also the attributes of that. So if I will now just insert the plain button, starting with Modus button, and let's import it from the correct library and just place the test. And after running npm run dev, after running, I will see a new button. Nice, but of course I would like to replace the existing ones. So let's just get it done, and the first button is there. Nice. And of course that button was coming from the scaffolding provided by Vite, and probably in our application we will not use that, so I will remove that one. And also all of the state functionality which was related to this counter. So the use state for the counter and also this function, they are all not needed. Okay, so let's go to the first component, or maybe let's just change the header. I will use the lower paragraph and use the name productivity tools. Okay, we will think about the padding in a couple of minutes. Now let's go to the section planes creator. It was our first function, first component, and here I would like to go to the HTML and replace the plain button with the Modus button. Here it is, and we need to import that from the module, and we have obtained the correct effect. I will do the same for the second button, and it was placed in a different component, markup annotations. So let's do exactly the same. Let's replace the normal HTML button with the Modus button, and okay, here it is. And maybe let's think also about that input, because here we have just a plain form for inserting some text, and let's find out what we can use from the Modus components. So let's go to the user inputs, and here is the text input and some samples. Quite nice one. We can add placeholders or icon or the clear button, but okay, I will just start with some simple, let's see, Modus text input. Yes, just like that. Okay, so I will replace the previous input with the Modus text input, and it is not working just by replacing. Let's go like that, and something is different compared to the normal input. Value on change. Let's see about the, okay, the event is not on change but on value change, probably on value change. Here it is. Okay, here it is, and we have obtained the two different. There are some roundings, but of course let's add some placeholder value. Okay, and there was one thing more. I think those nice labels, they can be, we can mark them as an obligatory, but yeah, label, just label. Okay, so here the label will be property name, because oh, it looks quite nice, I would say. Okay, because that functionality was just displaying in the 3D viewer the value of the provided property. So the user is typing something in that input, and after triggering the annotate selected, something will happen. Okay, so let's go with the input mode to the next control. In the search functionality, it was here, element search, and here is the input. So I will go once more here. We have to import that, and also here it was the name change on value change. Okay, it was that, yes, a little different height. And now let's add some placeholder, just a dummy value, but those labels, I like them. They are nice styled. Okay, so here it will be the search phrase, and now we don't need that paragraph because this text input will hold it. Nice. Okay, yeah, so definitely we have obtained different look, in my opinion, better, but all those elements are a little too much tight. We need to add some space to breathe, some white spaces. So let's think on that we have three different components, and each of them will have some header. Let's go with that way. The very beginning. So here I will just add H3, and it will be the section planes. Here it is. Okay, and about the styling, because I would like to make very clear that those are buttons, inputs related to different functionalities, that those productivity tools, they are the set of three smaller pieces. So let's just do the same what they have done here. So let's try to draw that line just above each section. So I want to add somewhere here above those section planes, some border, just like that. So I will wrap all of those things with some div, and let's format code, and now let's add some naming. So the name of that class will be just content panel. And I will be using the global CSS. In React, you can use them specifically for different components, but this application is so small that I don't see any purpose to make different modules CSS files. So let's just go to one app CSS file. And here, what we would like to do for that content panel, at the very beginning, let's start with some padding, and I will add at the very beginning padding for top, just an absolute value. Okay, and I think that we can borrow that maybe from here. Let's see how those models are created, padding, okay, and how they are applied. Okay, they are relative to the font size. So I will copy the declaration, and after applying that, I will get much better look. And now I will use the same content panel in every component. Of course, it could be extracted to some upper component, but yeah, at this point I don't want to do that, so I will just violate the try rule let's go like that, and we need to provide different name. So this HD will be not the section place, but it was about the annotation, so text markups. Okay, and the last component about the searching will be named just like a search. Okay, let's grab it. No, something. Okay, the formatting was better. Let's fix that. Yeah, now it's much better. And here it will be just search by search, just like that. Okay. So now we have applied the padding, but still we don't have the border. So let's go with the border top, and let's start with maybe color. What was the color from Trimble? That one. It was this. Okay, so I will borrow the same styling, but I don't want to apply it at the bottom, but at the top. And yes, now we obtained the clear distinction between different sections. And what is more wrong here? It's too tight. I don't like that. So let's at the very beginning see what classes button style, fill, color, class, hydrated. Okay, those hydrated, it's not coming from us, so it will be better just to provide some extra padding. Maybe let's try with just Modus button, and here I will try to provide padding top, and let's stick with something small. Okay, maybe it is not the best to apply it to all of the buttons, but yeah, without specifying extra class for that one. Yeah, you know, the lazy mode as always. Okay, so that button is a little offsetted from the input, but still the header, the H2 it doesn't look like that one. So let's see what is here. We have some one div, and then this is the H2, and probably this H2 is completely different in terms of sizes than our H2, because our H2 is coming directly from Bootstrap. So let's create a new selector and just title, and let's borrow something. So for example, line height will be probably needed, font, and what's more, font size. Okay, and let's apply that selector to our where it was in the app TSX. Okay, here it is, and here is our class name and title. Okay, I think that it is almost the same. We still have a problem with the paddings, but it can be quite easily fixed. Okay, so maybe let's wrap. Oh, here we have some strange class. We are not using that. Let's wrap our H2 into a separate div. And here what I want to do, I would like to provide only the content panel. No, because it will add also the border on top. So I will maybe just do this thing, and it will be enough without creating extra div. Of course, if you would like to add more things like the Trimble did, here some buttons, some combo boxes, then providing a different div or maybe even different component would be a better solution. But for now, for this basic styling, I think that we have obtained quite nice result. Okay, so let's see, is it still all working? And if we would like to annotate something, then we need to get its name. So let's get, for example, let's try to get something like pset Revit materials and finishes and column material. Probably all of those columns are with the same material, but okay, let's see. I have made some mistake probably. Column material, let's see why. Pset Revit material, where was that? Here. Column material. Okay. Here and finishes. Nope. And the way how those names are visible on that UI part and how they are get from the API is different. So definitely in the next version of that application, the user should have the possibility to choose from some drop-down, because now it's completely inconvenient to try to guess. Should be some spaces here, or should it be concatenated, how it works? So not really, but okay. Now I would like to see only one more thing, and that list. It is quite ugly. It's completely impractical just to see all of those identifiers of objects which has the phrase in them. And there is one very nice component in the Modus, and this is some kind of a tree view, maybe that content tree. And yeah, it looks perfectly tuned for our need, because I would like to present all of those objects which has still in their name, but not as just single list items, but at the first level as a group with some naming, and later one level deeper like individual list items. So exactly something like that, maybe without that combo box. So we will just turn off that property, and yeah. So I would like to consume this Modus tree view and try to find out how we can display it. So in the element search, let's go to the HTML part, and we have the text input, and we have some list, and here I would like to use Modus tree view. Okay, and at the very beginning it will be completely empty, so let's just add some dummy Modus tree view item. Okay, and what is needed? Okay, we have some hints. Cannot find name. Okay, because it was not imported, but then the label is needed and the node ID. Okay, so for the node ID, what is the format? It's a string. Let's just type 1, and for the label, test, and we get some element. Okay, let's increase the identifier, and now we are getting 2 elements. Nice, but it will take too much place. So condensed, and what is the attribute? Size. So let's grab it, save, and I don't see the difference. Why? Maybe some misspelling. Size, condensed, okay. Strange, not sure why. Oh, the previous elements were not refreshed. Okay. The React reconciliation process has not taken it into account. Okay, let's just refresh the page, and then it will be created from scratch according to this condensed property. And now we see that it is much smaller, so exactly what we wanted to achieve. And now let's try to find out how we can group those elements, because archived folder 1, okay, so those are just childs of it. Okay, don't look so complicated, so let's try to add that behavior at the end, and let's increase, and let's name child. Okay, something is not working. Why? Because probably one more time. Let's refresh. And now, okay, now here it is. So yeah, this tree will be recreated every time when the user will change their search phrase. So I would like to use this Modus tree view because it looks nice, and also it has some nice selecting features that all of those childs are selected. Probably we can even try with some multi-selection if you would like. Oh, here is multi-selection. So yeah, we can deselect, not really. Maybe there is some flag to change the behavior. Oh, we can even create some custom filters. A lot of different things is available in this Modus, so let's use it. And the question is how we can glue our part for searching elements with that Modus tree view. And it should be created exactly like that, by some mapping, by some populating of internal elements. And the question is how we would like to group that. Because now I think that we are not able to do this. Let's just increase a little the code and how this filtering was working. So we were getting the lowercase search value, and then there was this big nasty for loop for checking every model object if any property of it has the value which includes the phrase provided by the user. So now we are just getting the information that, okay, that object meets our criteria, but we don't know anything, any details about that. So we only know true, false, and not exactly the value which was set as, okay, it is there. So we miss that thing, and until we will be still using that sum, it will be not possible to get that value, because sum just returns Boolean value, that's all. And so to do that, let's try to use find function. Here it is, and find will work exactly the same, but it will return as the property, or it will return undefined if there will be no property which will meet our criteria. So I will just copy the previous condition, and let's const found property. Okay, so now we will get that property or undefined. So if that property, is not undefined, so if it is not undefined, then we want to do something. And the question is, what do we want to do? So we are trying to replace that function, the sum function, which was returning the Boolean. So if some property meets our criteria, then let's return true. But of course, this is exact replacement for that. So it would be no sense to do something which was done with 2 lines of code with something which is done by 5 lines of code. We needed that to grab the value, and the value is related to the model object. So somewhere here we should try to, at the very beginning, just assign the empty string, and if that property was found, then let's use that value. And here that value is string or number, because it could be the length, area, and I will go the same as previously, and I will just get the local string, and that's all. So okay, now I can remove that. And what is the effect? So now if any object meets, then I will be not only pushing the found model object to our array of results, but I need to somehow preserve that value to use that. So it would be nice to create some type which will be the combination of the current object properties, because we need the identifier for displaying, maybe some naming, and also that new type beside of object properties, it also needs to have the value, because it will be our grouping key. We will display it somewhere here in this Modus tree view. So let's define a type, and yeah, It could be done in a different file, but the scope of it is very local. So I will put it here. So it will be object with value, just like that. And what it will have? It will have object properties, like previously, and also it needs to have the value, and it's just a string. So now I get some new type, and let's replace all of the previous filtered objects, because this is the result of the filtering, with the object with value, and we have collapsed some pieces of the code, probably set filtered objects. Okay, so the result has to be different, and here we have to construct that object, the new object. And there was the properties. So what was here? Sorry, model object. Okay, so properties is the model object, and we have also the value, which needs to be the value found from our checking which property has proper naming. Okay, so but still I see that we have some errors. TypeScript is protecting us. Okay, so here we are looping over those filter objects, and I have wrapped it with some additional property. So let's unwrap it, and yeah, okay. There is still one more error here. What is coming here? Okay, yeah, we had this functionality to select things in Trimble Connect, and this selection is done by the identifiers. So let's also go with the properties. Let's save our code, and let's see that our previous, it's still working. So we have not broke the existing functionality, but we have enriched the returned object. So now we are ready to group those elements. So somewhere probably before that, that's the open question. Should we store the results already grouped, or is the grouping only the responsibility of this Modus Trivio? It's rather the UI purpose, because in this and in that place we are just getting what was filtered and not exactly how it should be presented. So let's try to do it somewhere here, but of course it will probably be very, very, very ugly JSX. But okay, let's start with just that I will try to create not the list items, but here I want to create the trivials, just to preserve the previous way of how it worked, and I will show here that and okay, because I don't want to work on that temporary idea. I have removed too much, and those ULs, and here what is it complaining about? That okay, number is not the string, so let's just cast it as easy as possible and do the same with the ID, or maybe as a label we will show some product and maybe name, but it can be empty. So ID is always there, so it's a temporary. So let's just try to do that, and after saving we have obtained the Modus 3 view with all of those elements. And before I will go back to the grouping, I don't like this scroll bar, because I want to always have visible those things above. So maybe let's add some class to this Modus Trivio, and let's name it like filtered objects. And in the CSS, let's provide two things. At first, the height, and I will just provide some fixed value just for that, and also overflow. It should be set to auto. Not really, it's not enough. Why? I have provided the class here. Sorry, not class name. JSX. Okay, so I have provided some fixed value. It will be quite awful in different for different resolutions, so better stuff should be used here. Probably some yeah, getting the screen height minus something, but okay, for now I just wanted to get rid of this scroll bar which was applied to all of those HTML elements. Okay, so let's go back to the grouping, because now we are just displaying all of those elements as at the same level. But I want to do it differently. I want to stack them inside of the groups. So we need to group somehow. And in the newest JavaScript, I'm not sure that it is the newest, probably there is a newer version, but there is this method group by. In TypeScript, I think that maybe in the newer releases it is, but in the version which was applied by the Vite, it is not here. So I think that that's the time to just grab a new library, Lodash, which will provide us quite a lot of new functionalities. So now I will just import Lodash, and it won't be enough because we also need types for the TypeScript. So let's grab it like that. Okay, and it's time to just import. And I will be lazy because I will import all of those functions. Here it is. Okay, so what Lodash brings to the table? It provides us the possibility to group by, and I will start with just trying. So I want to group the results, and here I have to provide how I would like to group it. So I think that it will be just like that, but I'm not sure. And what is the result? Let's just apply it just for a while, and let's maybe just drop it to the console log temp. Let's see what is the result. And now I will try to see what is in the console. And yeah, the code is not running. And run dev. And the result is a dictionary with keys and values, which are the array of those objects which has that property. So that is quite nice. So we will be able to display them in a grouped fashion. But yeah, to do that, we will have to think a little how exactly this should be wrapped inside of the JSX. Because now we are displaying all of them at the same level, but now we want to do it a little differently. So here was the grouping, and of course we will be not grouping when we are searching, because probably before releasing the tool it should be split into different function. So I will try to do it somewhere here, and at the very beginning it will fail, of course. So I will be grouping inside of the JSX, but it will group those elements, but it is not enough because I want to iterate over them. So I will use also the map from the Lodash, and here not the result but filtered objects. This is then the correct name, and that mapping, it is working on the group and how it should work, what it should do exactly. So here I will get the value and also the key, and based on that I want to create a set of Modus tree view items, but now I'm only on the level of something is missing word. I have, okay, it was one thing XS. So now I will just display the key and value. So we are not getting, we are not going one level deeper. So as you can see, it's displayed like that. So not exactly what I wanted, because I wanted to be able to expand that group. So inside of that tree view item, I need to create more Modus 3 view items, and it will be a little headache because yeah, JSX inside of the JSX, it is not the best thing to read. So in future it should be extracted into smaller pieces, but for now let's just get this working. So inside of that I will create the next elements, and not one of them but many of them, and they need to have the label and the node ID, because that's one of the Modus requirements. But how I will get them? I have not used this val property, and here we are getting the array of those objects. So exactly this is what do we need. So here I will map with a normal way, and it will be some object, and for that I need to wrap it like it, and of course we are missing those properties, so we have to provide a node ID, and it can be the identifier, the same as previously, because it is unique. So when we will add some selection, then it will be quite clear which node was selected. So let's go with the all properties and ID, and yeah, to string, because the node the key, the node ID is a string type. Okay, and the second was label. Yes, it is the label, and for the label let's display exactly the same. Let's see how it will work. And have I okay, it looks maybe not the best, because as I said, it should be splitted into different modules, but now let's try to wrap it up once more. Okay, now exactly. So now we are getting this hierarchy, this tree. Nice. And what is also bad? Okay, because this searching is, yeah, it's rapid. After every keystroke, it is triggering all of those effects. So that review, yeah, it will hurt in a bigger models. So it would be nice just to wrap this effect when this value is changed with some timeout, just like that. So I have found something on the Stack Overflow how we can do that. So at the very beginning here we are not invoking some function which we have written, but only the use state hook. So this set search value is coming from here, and yeah, then we are probably here on that use effect. We are listening to changes on that value, and then this use effect is triggered. Maybe not perfect in terms of maintainability, but it's, yeah, for now it is like that. And how we can modify this workflow. So I will at the very beginning just create some space before and after this block of what is going on, and I want to wrap it all with some debouncer. So I will add something which I have copied before. So here I am specifying the timeout, and that timeout is 1 second. So if the user has not passed anything in 1 second, then let's try with a new value. And also for the demounting of this React component, let's go like that, and let's try, is it working? And now, as you can see, it is not working rapidly, just after every key down, but with some delay. It can be tweaked, but just to show you that, okay, those things can also, as normal JavaScript, they also can be adjusted inside of Trimble Connect. So maybe let's try with some footing. Okay, so we have top footing. What is that? Yeah, maybe that part should also be changed, that after user is selecting something, that only that particular element is selected in Trimble Connect, because now we see all of them and it not doesn't seem very useful. So, okay, that is that, maybe some concrete. And for the concrete, we are getting all of those columns and some ramps and some stairs. Even there are some concrete stairs. Oh, maybe here, but okay, maybe them. Never mind. What's more, maybe here some X button just to clear it, and it would be quite easy. So let's just go with the Modus text input and probably some attribute like clearable, and that is the boolean. So let's wrap it with the JSX, and now after typing something, yeah, we can clear it. Nice. Foundation, okay, and clear. Okay, it works. Of course, in a production, it would be nice to override that styling, because this padding is too big, especially when, yeah, but the question is what we should display here in those groupings. It was just for a purpose. And now I see some problem because there is no value, but we still see the previous effects. So probably something, some escaping at the very beginning, somewhere here. Okay, because here we are checking that there are some model objects and there is some search value, but what if that search value is null? When the user has not specified it. So now, okay, it disappeared. Let's try it with concrete and let's clear, and the list should also be cleared. Okay, okay. I don't have a screenshot how the tool looked at the very beginning, but I hope that we are quite close to the vanilla effect from the Trimble Connect. Of course, not everything is the same. Probably here the font color is a little different. It's not the pure black. Let's find out. So I will try to see the color, maybe computed one. And yes, this is not the black one, it's a little gray. Let's name it. So if you would like to be exactly the same, then more things needs to be done on the CSS side. But generally, if you will use the Modus, then all of the typical Bootstrap components, but a little enriched and styled to the Trimble fashion, they will be available for you. If you will just import the Modus Bootstrap, then you will not get the access to all of those controls, but all of your H1, H2 headings and paragraphs, they will look a little more cohesive with the rest of the UX. Of course, it's up to you. If you want to, mimic how Trimble style their software, or you have your own style, and yeah, I don't want to start this discussion because it's always quite hard to get who wants to, yeah, which color, which size, which font, etc. You get the point. So that's all for styling. I definitely recommend those components, because if you know Bootstrap, they are quite similar, I would say. Not the same, but similar, and they are working good. So definitely for integration with Trimble products, why not? And yeah, that's all. We have marked the 6th video, and the last one will be about the deployment, because currently that extension is residing on the local host, so not very useful, and we should be able to provide it somewhere in the web and distribute the hyperlink with our users with maybe some icon and other stuff, but what exactly, let's see in the next video. For today, thank you and see you next time.